Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum has actually met my exact price target that I let you guys know about 2 days ago now. So congrats to those of you that actually followed me on this trade signal that I gave you, which was essentially a long position from here up towards here. So in just a moment in this video, I'll give you a quick update on what I'm doing with that long position right now, whether I'm taking profits, whether I'm buying even more. I'll get into my next Ethereum price targets as well. I also entered a long position on Cardano. So in just a moment, I will be updating you guys on Cardano, getting into my next price targets. So definitely make sure you're watching this video all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, be sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future updates. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So we're going to start off on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see just here. And yeah, just quickly recapping my recent Ethereum videos. Of course, for quite a while, I've been talking about Ethereum forming this ascending triangle pattern, which technically speaking, an ascending triangle pattern is a bullish pattern, meaning that it's technically more likely to break out to the upside. Now, previously, when we were about halfway through this pattern, I'll be completely honest, I was letting you guys know that we were seeing some bearish signs in the RSI and the MACD here. So I was expecting potentially a smaller move to the downside before we see the gains come into play. But once again, over the past 1 to 2 days, I was letting you guys know that we're beginning to break out here for Ethereum. And also, I obviously gave you guys those extra updates over on my Twitter as soon as this was happening. And in that video around 2 days ago, where I was covering this potential breakout to the upside right here for Ethereum, I was also saying in that video that we need to see some sort of confirmation. So we need to see the volume pick up here and exceed previous volume levels. And we also need to preferably see some sort of retest. And we actually saw both of that come into play. As you can see, we definitely saw a huge surge in volume come into play the moment we started breaking out to the upside here. And also on top of that, we did actually see a nice retest here to confirm this previous resistance level as new support for Ethereum. And the moment we confirmed that retest just there, obviously the price of Ethereum began exploding to the upside as expected. And I gave you guys a technical price target of $3,800 US. And Ethereum at the time of filming this video has topped out at around $3,840 US. So only just $40 over the technical price target that I gave you guys over the past 2 days once again. Now, why was I targeting 3,800? For the new viewers on the channel, that was the target for this ascending triangle pattern. But also zooming out to the daily time frame for Ethereum, what's very interesting is that was actually the 78.6% Fibonacci level as well, coming in at pretty much exactly where we've just found resistance. And once again, this is nothing new for the subscribers. We were expecting this days in advance. But even though we're finding some resistance along this Fibonacci level at roughly around 2.8K, what's really important to see for Ethereum is the fact that we've finally broken through the golden pocket. This is huge for the bulls, because for quite a while we were finding huge resistance along the golden pocket. And once again, during that time period just there, I let you guys know that for as long as we're below this golden pocket, we can't get ahead of ourselves and we need to at least consider a potential bearish scenario. But one thing that I've also kept consistent throughout the entire time period just there, I let you guys know constantly that if we break above the golden pocket here at roughly around 3.4K, give or take, then that is when I will flip really bullish again on Ethereum, because this means that the chances of Ethereum now reaching the all-time high soon have drastically increased. While we were below the golden pocket here at around 3.4K, once again, there was still a decent chance that we could see a further correction to the downside before eventually the continued uptrend. But once again, now that we're actually testing the 78.6% Fibonacci level, historically speaking, major trend reversals most commonly happen at the golden pocket. So now that we're above the golden pocket, it's actually not very common at all for a major trend reversal to come into play at the 78.6% Fibonacci level. So of course we can find, some short-term resistance along that level. And in fact, it would be healthy for the Ethereum market if we do find some continued resistance before we eventually break. But right now, I am actually very bullish on Ethereum over the next few weeks and months, because seriously, if we simply replicate the same gain that we've had over the past 2 days here, which by the way, that was around a 16 to 17% gain from 2 days ago to the current price. If we replicate that same 16 to 17% gain, that will place Ethereum at the all-time high at $4,400 US. That is seriously how close we are to all-time highs for Ethereum. And obviously after we break the all-time high, Ethereum will continue to explode even further into new all-time highs, just like what we saw previously. So honestly, the main levels of resistance that I'm paying attention to right now, and once again, the subscribers would already know about this, they have not really changed. First of all, the 78.6% Fibonacci level coming in at around 3.8k. It's actually just above 3.8k. And then obviously the all-time high itself at around 4.4k. That will also act as some resistance for Ethereum, considering the fact that obviously we saw major resistance along that 4.4k level back in the middle of May. But if we break beyond that level just there, the next price target to the upside for Ethereum is the 1618 Fibonacci level, and that is actually coming in at $6,000 per Ethereum. So from the current price to that price target all the way up there, that is still another 61% gain for Ethereum. And obviously that is not a target in the immediate short term. It's actually very unlikely that we're going to make it all the way up there even within the next few weeks. But what's much more likely is we could actually come back up towards the all-time high within the next few weeks, especially if we break the 78.6% Fibonacci level first, obviously. And then it's only after we start breaking above around 3.8 to 3.9 thousand US, that once again is when I would expect the all-time high to come into play pretty quick after that. Now, as for levels of support for Ethereum, of course, we have this huge support at around 3.4k approximately. So if Ethereum does find a major rejection along that 3.8k level, then once again, I would expect strong support at around 3.4k. But even though that is technically speaking strong support for Ethereum, that does not mean that Ethereum is definitely going to be going all the way back down there again. So one of the best strategies for the beginners out there, and this is actually a strategy that I've used for many years, and that is simply the strategy to just dollar cost average into Ethereum and hold for the longer term. Simply by using that strategy, you're going to be taking advantage of these huge gains that we've seen in Ethereum recently, and you're also going to be lowering your risk overall because of course you're not going all in at any given price level. You're simply dollar cost averaging, which is essentially buying a little bit now, for example, and then maybe next week buying a little bit then, and so on and so forth, so that you actually get an average entry price. So even if Ethereum dips back to the downside, you can continue to accumulate at those lower price levels, which lowers your actual entry price into Ethereum. But in terms of my trading strategy right now for Ethereum, at the moment, I am still in my Ethereum long position that I told you guys that I was entering around 2 days ago now on the channel, but I have actually closed over half of that position when we hit that exact 3.8k price target. Because obviously in the much longer term, I am extremely bullish on Ethereum. But once again, in the short-term strategy, for those that are in a short-term position, such as a leverage trade, it is actually really important to take profits every now and again on your trade, or at the very least, move your stop loss further into profits. And by the way, for those of you wondering exactly how to do that and wondering, what a stop loss is, what a take profit is, and how to actually enter and exit a leverage trade, I actually have a complete trading tutorial where I show all of that and more as a video here on the channel, and I'll actually link that video in the description down below. Now, there is actually one bearish sign that is showing in the chart at the moment, and that is actually a bearish divergence. Now, this is not confirmed at the time of filming this video. What we need to see is to basically confirm the 3.8k level as resistance. So we need to see this daily candle that we're currently forming close as a red daily candle, because we've still got around 11 hours approximately before this candle actually closes on the daily time frame. So technically speaking, it is still a possibility for this to turn into a green daily candle before it finally closes. And if that's the case, that means that this is not confirmed as a short-term top. So once again, we need to confirm this short-term top just here, and then that would actually confirm this bearish divergence that is currently forming. As you can see, we formed a high, and right now we're in a higher high in the price of Ethereum, but in the RSI, we formed a high and a lower high. So once again, that is a bearish divergence that is currently forming. It's just not confirmed. And if it does confirm, what it basically means is basically the bulls are starting to lose a little bit of steam on this push to the upside, and we could be in for a little bit of a sideways consolidation, if not a slight cool off to the downside before we see a continued move to the upside. So most of the time, what a bearish divergence usually does is basically just pause the current uptrend, and once again, just put the price into a bit more of a consolidation, whether that's to the side or slightly to the downside. And now quickly checking out Cardano. This is one of your most suggested altcoins in the comment section down below. So here we are on the Cardano to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame, and as you can see here, Cardano is beginning to break into brand new all-time highs. The moment that we were breaking into brand new all-time highs, I gave you guys this trade signal over on my Twitter. Once again, I let you guys know that I did actually enter a small long position. Now, I was actually waiting on a retest of this previous level of resistance just here, but considering how bullish Ethereum has been recently, and also considering the next Cardano price targets, I just entered a small long position once again as we're breaking out here. And I also let you guys know that in this trade signal over on my Twitter, if the price comes back down and performs a successful retest of this previous level just here, then I'll simply add to that long position. So congrats to those of you that also followed me on my Cardano trade. A lot of you actually shared some of the profits that you guys are making on these trades. As you can see, some of you made 32%, scrolling down, some of you made 10%, some of you made 54%, some of you even made over 226% on my trade signal, 33%, nearly 36%, 57%. Now, even though that recently, yes, we've been hitting the trades really well, I never want to pretend like I'm going to be right 100% of the time, so keep that in mind. There's going to be some times where I'm going to be wrong, so even though, of course, these last few trades have performed very well, still make sure that you're doing your own research as well, because once again, there's going to be some times where I'm going to be wrong, and I don't want to be one of those crypto influencers that just pretends that I'm right all the time, because to be honest, there's enough of those out there. But anyway, getting into the Cardano charts just here, once again, we are breaking out into new all-time highs, which obviously is a bullish signal. Now, at the time of filming this video, we haven't actually seen a lot of confirmation just yet. We actually saw a small bounce along $3, so you could perhaps see that as a bit of confirmation, but once again, no major confirmation has been seen on the Cardano charts just yet. Now, it's important to mention that we don't need to see confirmation before we head higher. It's just something that puts us in a safer position if we're trading Cardano. But if we can see some sort of confirmation here, getting into the technical price target for this ascending triangle pattern that Cardano was forming, that price target is coming in at around $3.50 per Cardano. And once again, for the subscribers out there that have been subscribed for a while now on the channel, that level is nothing new. We've known about that price target days in advance, because not only is that the price target for this potential ascending triangle pattern, but also when you're zooming out on the daily time frame and bringing out the Fibonacci extensions from the previous all-time high of around $2.50 down to that initial low just there at around 90 cents, as you can see just here, that puts the 1618 Fibonacci level at pretty much exactly $3.50. So we've got two different signs on the chart, both pointing towards $3.50 as the next price target for Cardano. So if we do confirm this breakout to the upside here, I will begin taking profits on my Cardano long position at around $3.45, because once again, a part of my strategy is to take profits on a long position, for example, slightly before the technical price target, just in case we might not hit the exact price target. So from the point of the breakout just here to that price target, that is around a 19% gain for Cardano. But from the current price, considering we've already broken out just here, that is still around a 15% gain approximately. And for those wondering, yes, we have Fibonacci levels higher than that level just there. So if we break above $3.50, then the next Fibonacci level is of course the 2618 Fibonacci level, and that is coming in at just above $5 per Cardano. But of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we need to make it to $3.50 before we can start looking at those levels higher than that. Now, something else that we need to be paying attention to here is, of course, the volume just here. As you can see, it is still currently declining to the downside, which is actually not a good sign while we're breaking out here. What we need to see is the volume pick up quite a lot like what we saw in Ethereum. If not, it's still a possibility for the Cardano price to come back down and retest this level. And if we fail to hold this level, which by the way, this level that I've got here is at around $2.95, but also around $3 is a significant level. So pretty much in between $2.95 and $3, that little range just there is an important range that I'm paying attention to for Cardano right now, because if we start losing that range and falling below $2.95, then of course that is not bullish. That is a bearish sign. But right now we are not seeing that. Technically speaking, we are still bullish, but it's just because we're seeing a lack in confirmation just here, a lack in volume and no major retest. Technically, we still have to at least consider that this bearish scenario is still a possibility. And for those of you that watched my Ethereum video just yesterday on the channel, I covered in that video that Ethereum is actually lagging behind Bitcoin a little bit. But what's interesting between Ethereum and Cardano is actually Cardano recently has been lagging a little bit behind Ethereum. So simply taking a look at the Ethereum chart, once again, this is on the 4-hour time frame for Ethereum, looking at the all-time high at around 4.4K. Where did we reach the all-time high for Ethereum? Well, that was on the 12th of May this year. And now taking a look at the Cardano chart again, where did Cardano top out at the previous all-time high that time round? Well, Cardano, on the other hand, actually reached this top on the 16th of May. So once again, Cardano topped out around 4 days after Ethereum topped out during around the middle of May just there. And now taking a look at this recent pump in the markets, looking back on the Ethereum to US dollar chart, still on this 4-hour time frame, as you can see, Ethereum was at around $1,700 in around the 20th of July just here. And then we saw this explosive move to the upside throughout the rest of July and leading into August. And then we started heading sideways in around the 8th of August approximately. Now checking out Cardano. Well, during this entire time period just here, once again, this was between the 20th of July approximately and around the 8th of August. While Ethereum was exploding to the upside, Cardano, on the other hand, was actually only seeing a gentle increase, almost just a sideways consolidation. And then it was finally when Ethereum started entering that sideways consolidation that Cardano finally started pumping to the upside. So once again, during this time period just here where Cardano was seeing huge gains, that was when Ethereum was actually going pretty much sideways. And then of course, it was during this time period just here that Ethereum was forming that huge ascending triangle pattern. And we broke out of that pattern around 2 days ago. And only just now are we seeing the same things happening in Cardano. So once again, we're seeing a little bit of a delay in Cardano from what we've just experienced in Ethereum. So if that's the case, if this sort of thing continues, then once again, Ethereum over the last 2 days saw an amazing move to the upside. So if Ethereum is a leading indicator on Cardano again, then once again, that would suggest another move to the upside coming soon for Cardano. But keep in mind that that is just speculation. There's no technical patterns or anything that tells us that that's definitely going to happen. That's just going off what we've seen recently in the charts. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. As always, I post these videos every day here on the channel. I normally post Bitcoin and Ethereum every single day. And then some days I will include your most suggested altcoins that you guys are commenting in the comment section down below. And also, just before I finish this video, don't forget to check out my Twitter. I'll keep a link to my Twitter in the description down below for those of you that want these extra trade signals and these extra updates throughout the day on the entire crypto market. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.